Thanks for tuning in to the BowhunterPlanet Podcast. Watch the full video exclusively on Carbon TV. This show is brought to you by Tinks, Scent Crusher, Camp Chef and Cat Work Truck, Victory Archery and Thorn Broadheads, Cobra Archery and Shadow Hunter Blinds, Burris Optics and Reveal Cellular Trail Cams, HHA and HHA USA. Additional support by Under Armour and Deer Camp Coffee.
Since I was young, even at the age of say 8-9 years old, I was already kind of intrigued by archery and made my first bow from a willow. And from there I went to a fishing rod. I took the bottom section of a fishing rod, used that as a bow. The top section I made into an arrow. And then that worked really well, compared to your initial stick and string. So it's always been a hobby. It's always something I've always been attracted to. And in 1998, I made some notes here. I guess 1998, I opened up a little shop in my basement just for working on my own equipment, tuning, this kind of thing. Work on my friends' bows. I was getting pretty good at setting up bows, tuning the bows. And it slowly became bigger and bigger. We ended up opening up a shop on Main Street here in a smaller town. We're in Bigger, Saskatchewan, where we're located. So we put a building up with a range, pro shop in the front, and we started running that. That was about year 2000. Now, in 2002, I was actually switching from shooting with fingers to a release, and I couldn't find a good arrow rest that would hold your arrow from falling off. Back then, that TM Hunter was the thing to use, and your arrow would fall off with prongs, right? Remember that? So anyway, we come up with a new invention with an arrow rest we called it the APA Ultimate, and I have one in my hand here. I'm not sure if you guys could see it. So this is how this company kind of started, is with this piece right here. So it's a full containment arrow rest, and you put your arrow and shoot right through it with the cock feather down. Stationary, doesn't move. So this is kind of what sparked APA Innovations Inc. Is when before the new company and decided to manufacture this. Went to the ATA show in 2002. We made top 10 products with it.
Awesome.
So so that was kind of a big step for us to do this. Get into manufacturing, learn how to do it, this, that. Converted part of the building to start manufacturing instead of having the range. But anyway, about 2006 or so, 2005, 2006, we were struggling a little bit financially because it wasn't big enough, to make all the overhead, right? By the time you travel, do trade shows, marketing, this, that. So I got thinking, we should focus on the bow. The bow is such a big item that it can't be missed. We found that we had to really put a lot of marketing on this to try to get people to even know that it existed. So I got thinking about the bow and come up with the carry handle for the bow on the front. That was kind of the first step to making a unique design. We always want to be, no use making something that's already out there and try to change the color or whatever. If it's not different or better, it's no use getting into that field. That's how I believe, So by putting the bridge on the front of the riser, it had so many, benefits. It strengthens the riser. It makes it much easier to transport the bow when you're walking with it. And it made it look different from anything else out there, which is another, kind of a side effect of it. Now, we went to the ATA show 2006. We had a bow called the Black Mamba. And that same bow, we also put a tool center in the bow, which had a broadhead wrench, a knock adjustment tool, and a carbide sharpener. So that's kind of the different, to be different from everybody else, I guess. It was a fast bow. In fact, 346 feet per second. It was the fastest bow that year because prior to us, I think the Bowtech Black Knight had the fastest bow at 350, but they went to the binary cam and reduced their speeds. And we came in at 346. So that year we were the fastest one. So we've always been on the top end of the speed. I've always been addicted to speed. So even the bows I've bought personally from different manufacturers, you've always had to be on the fastest end of the spectrum, I guess, So anyways, from there, we started improving on the design and coming up with.
As usual, thank you guys so much for tuning into the BowhunterPlanet Podcast. Your support is so appreciated. If you love archery and bow hunting, make sure you subscribe and follow us on social media as we have a lot more great content to share. We'll see you soon.